Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to Alan Wake 2, where we're slowly working our way through the depths of noir York City. It's kind of hard to determine exactly how much of this is necessarily... Like it's one of those things where, like, when a character is having a dream in a narrative, how much of the things in the dream are necessarily important to the story. Like, the stuff with Mr. Door was interesting and important to the story. But, like, the stuff in between leaving the late show and meeting Sheriff, leaving the Sheriff and meeting the Sheriff again. Like, how much of that is world building? How much of that is building the dark place? What is the dark place? Who is Mr. Scratch? There's a lot of questions going on. Also, I feel as though I'm not fully connected to the combat in this game. I'm definitely bad. I'm definitely bad at the combat in this game. I'm not gonna shy away from throwing myself under the bus in regards to that. And I'm still trying to figure out, like, an eloquent way to put it, instead of saying, combat I do not like. Like, I want to be specific about what aspects of the combat I'm not necessarily into, and what I feel could be done to improve that for me. And I feel as though, for now, I'm just going to summarize it as, like, the only thing I'm going to bring up is, I feel as though the combat doesn't leave much room for error. And that's also one of the reasons why I've started saving, like, every few steps, is because of how little room you have for error. Like, every encounter, every enemy has the potential to kill you. Because, like, their continuous attack, their continuous assault. I've left a bunch of enemies back there. I don't care about them. They can hang around over there. Or not. Ah. Why didn't you finish reloading your game, sir? Or reloading your gun? I did not realize I was out of bullets. You know, I'm just gonna die. This is what I mean. You've got it's like enemies can, like, string together a pretty easy set of combos on you, and it's not very easy to get away from them. It also doesn't help that I only have one gun. I'm just going to run to the right and hope they don't notice me. Is there nothing I can do in this room? Oh, wait, there's the locked door. Which connects back to that area of the subway, but I don't need to do anything there. To my knowledge. Am I expected to go to previous sections. Okay, so that takes me back to this section. Am I supposed to go back to the collapsed tunnel and enter different plot elements? Because I did unlock other items that I could use at those sections of the story. I mean, I could try. Like, otherwise, I'm not entirely sure where I'm supposed to be going from here. Like, that way is impassable. I didn't find anything there. Or there was just the word of power, and I already got it. And that's the end of the line. Alright, let's go to the collapsed tunnel. Real quick, see if there's something we can do over there. Is that the room where the area where? Yes, it is. I mean, might as well turn up our flashlight, because the last time we went through here, there weren't any of those.
This new plot beat would carry me deeper into the story.
All right. So we're going to replace Murder Cult with Summoning Ritual? Ah, there we go. And that gets us out of here. Right. Alan, put on your running shoes. Oh, I'm supposed to do stuff. Okay. There's an actual physical manifestation.
I couldn't hear the dark presence. It was gone.
Physical manifestation of the dark presence. And thank you, Alan, for specifying that it has left us. But is it still going to be a... Actually, hold on. Is the train just gone too? I think the train is also just gone. Who took their shopping cart down there? Now nobody's ever gonna find that shopping cart.
The tunnel was open now. I could get through.
I'm sure whatever's behind me, Alan's got a good vantage point of that. Alan, just keep your flashlight pointed forward.
The dark presence. I had seen it before. I remembered now.
Is that the thing that keeps returning him to the writer's room? Because it's not killing him. It's not hunting him per se. Like Alan has survived here for 13 years. Is it because he has evaded the Dark Presence? Or is it the Dark Presence has kept him imprisoned here? Ooh. Now, are we in a little bit of an overlap? Like how, when Saga was walking through the overlap towards,
I had found the murder site.
Oh, there's the image of the heart.
Somehow the victim's heart was the key.
Yep. Is this Nightingale? We'll never be finished with dead, naked Nightingale. One day we'll be done looking at his dead, naked corpse.
Something had shifted. I felt an overwhelming closeness to home. An FBI agent?
Ah.
Who are you?
And now we have that crossover point where Saga
Who are you?
She can hear me.
found the image of Wake.
This is Alan Wake. I'm trapped here. The dark place. Under Cauldron Lake.
Cauldron Lake. Who are you?
I'm trying to escape. I'm making progress, but I'm in danger. The Dark Presence. Help me. Please, help me. I could sense it. I was closer to home. Had the woman in the vision helped me somehow? Something had changed. Outside. Parliament Tower. Where I'd lived with Alice. It was out there. Waiting for me.
I have a feeling that it is worse than that. I feel like it's the possibility that the dark place is kind of like merging with the real world. Sir, are you done? Mr. Nightingale, agent of the F. He is an FBI agent.
Who was writing who? Who was writing this poem? Me? No.
The writer of the first word, not the writer of the last. With the terror of the light and the shadows cast. The third eye now open to project the night. This is the moment to write. This is the ritual to lead you on. Your friends will meet him when you are gone. Again, is Alan Wake escaping from the dark place a good thing? Like, is that essentially what enables Mr. Scratch to escape? The Dark Presence to escape? Like, the overlap is like the weakening between realities. And I feel like that's the kind of thing that inspires me to keep playing the game, regardless of my struggles.
Stepping to the murder site, I'd felt it, hanging in the air. A meaning, the violent emotion of the act. Like a cloud of wrath. The dead eyes of the victim staring at something you couldn't see, and yet making you aware of it. Something that soaked into this place on a molecular level, overlapping with your meaningless existence. Regression to something you had managed to forget. Marking you, taking you for a ride, making you crazier.
Alright, let's see how difficult it is to get to Alice's apartment building. We are off the maps. But yeah, like that's what gets me like really excited about the game is the storyline, the narrative. Like what is going on? What is happening? How are the things going to work itself out? Like getting to the next like combat scenario is not exactly as pressing of... It's not like your stories are any good. Not like they have any artistic merit. You're a lousy writer. Cheap thrills and pretentious shit. That's all you're good for. Just look at me. Look at your work. Like, how much of this is like, I feel like a lot of these things is also like the inner fears of a writer themselves. Like, how much of this is like Sam Lake imagining Alan Wake, and how much of this is like Sam Lake being like the doubt that creeps in as a writer. Like, you spend so much time working on it, and yet how much of it is actually seen? How much of it is actually good? You hope it's good. You hope that people will like it. You hope that people will read it and get something out of it. But there's always the doubt. The doubt always creeps in. In Between with Mr. Door. Ah, The Dark Place, opening soon. A photography and videography exhibition by Alex Wake.
The station had changed. I was closer now.
Following a typical nightmare pattern, I was late, desperately trying to reach my destination, a lighthouse. For some urgent reason, I couldn't remember. I'd been driving too fast down a coastal road to get there. I didn't see the man until it was too late. As a teenager just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate books that had come to life in objects that had come into life in his books. Okay, I already read that one. Let us move on. Yeah. Some more flares again. And thusly, the artist creates his own enemy. Like, Mr. Scratch exists because Alan Wake created him in his own madness. But I was just thinking, like, what if it was like a really shitty artist, like somebody who only like did stick figures, and like The Dark Place was like, this is the best I got at the moment. Do I need to take that with me? I mean, I don't want to leave it behind, just in case. Also, do I have like a whole bunch? Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of charges. Way too many charges. Anybody need a light? I can take care of you. I can take care of you all.
Parliament Tower. Our home in New York. Was I really this close to being home? Going up to our apartment? Would I be home? Or was this just an echo of the real thing? Even then, the murder site had brought me one step closer to escape.
And one step closer to the edge. Anybody want to get in my way? Any shadows? Like this, it makes for an interesting encounter. Like having to constantly be wary of shadows in the darkness. Is that a phone ringing?
The payphone at the edge of the plaza was ringing again.
Hey, Alan. Thank God he picked up. I thought I lost you again.
Who are you? Why are you helping me?
Did you go deeper? To the overlap?
Are you talking about the murder site? Yeah, I did.
That's fantastic, Alan. We're closer to getting out. We're making progress.
Well,
Okay, that's
you
clearly
can
Mr.
answer my damn
Scratch.
questions.
Last time we spoke, you were pretty worried about Alice. Did you ever check Parliament Tower? To make sure she really got out of the dark place?
Well, of course she got out. That's why I'm here. That's the whole goddamn point.
Be very careful, Alan. The dark presence is stealing from you. It can already manifest as your double. Scratch will come.
Wait, hello?
But yeah, it makes it also so, like, just navigating the environment, it feels less like I should be running, because that is going to make mistakes.
Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed. And that put her in danger.
Was Alice here? In the story?
I'm sure this elevator is very, very trustworthy. Nothing will go wrong. Do you know what's worse than a nightmare? Dreaming about work. Because when you have to, when you wake up, you still have to go to work. It's like you pull a double shift. Not quite, game. Your jump scare did not quite get me.
Alice's photo
I feel very slightly startled.
When the door opens.
But not quite there. So basically you took a bunch of photos of my back because I had decided to face away at that moment. Alice, what kind of photos are you taking if... Where do we live where the elevator just goes to our apartment?
Get out! Leave me alone!
Alice! Alice!
Are you in this room?
Alice.
Pick photos for exhibition posters.
This is a photo of Scratch. How did Alice get this? Is he stalking her?
And that's also an interesting thing about Alan Wake's experience in the Dark Place. Like, has he been here so long that he doesn't necessarily recognize the difference between reality and fiction? How much of this could be, like, how much of this could you consider almost like a metaphor for the idea of a writer that becomes obsessed with their work? That they become so knee-deep in their own exploration of their story, their idea, that they cannot separate the gaps between themselves and their creation. And that maybe even the manifestation of Mr. Scratch is their own sanity dwindling away.
This is the door to my study, where I wrote my books.
Okay, the spiral room is
I wasn't
locked.
here before.
I'm glad you're able to retain that.
Alice's video camera. No memory card inside.
Even her camera does not remember. Video. Art doc on screens. Multi. Focal point of the Dark Place. Also, you're finished eating with whatever was on that dish. Your kitchen's right over there. Take it to the sink. Part 1.
Part 1. What was Alice working on?
What was she working on in that dark place? Look, you and him were buddies. All right, let's insert this memory card. Is this also going to be a projector? Okay, no, it's just plugged in. Okay, plugged into the projector.
When I was younger, photography was everything to me.
A nice blend of live action and in-game.
And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos.
Yeah, not the photos that inspired her. She was just doing the work.
Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan hit a block. I brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong. And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly. Easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do too sometimes.
Does she not remember her stay in the Dark Place? Is it just for her, like, she went into the water?
6 years ago,
And then she emerged?
I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking. Voices.
as the light in the background starts flickering.
Then it got violent.
Because Alan wasn't haunting her. It was Mr. Scratch, Alan's alter ego.
And yet, it was a monster. He always did have anger in him. I set up cameras around the apartment with motion sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art.
Which is how she got a picture of Mr.
My
Scratch.
nightmares caught on film. And this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her. Why?
You and he were buddies. When I came to the hospital, you were the first buddy I ever knew. Also, if you haven't watched Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, it is ridiculous and amazing. The first episode is the best. Second episode, still pretty high up there. Third episode, still pretty good. The fourth one, the fifth one, those get a little bit much. Sixth episode picks it back up, and that's the whole show. It didn't run for that long. But Matt Berry, impeccable timing with his delivery, among others. But let us continue trying to explore this dark place. Can I go inside this room? Nope, door's locked.
The door wouldn't open.
Okay, there's a second line. The door wouldn't open. Can I take anything from this camera? Anything in here that I missed? Huh. Well, let's turn that flashlight off. It's not exactly that big of an area. Like, does this just... That was an amazing transition.
I sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation. To project myself through the dark place, to look for a way out. The story had brought me here, brought me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here writing.
Ooh, do we have a meeting with our antagonist? Nope, we're dead. You think he's dead, Jim? Return by Mr. Scratch. See what I mean? Like, even if the gameplay doesn't necessarily click with me completely, the storyline is too exciting. So, do we essentially now know that, like, Alan Wake carried Mr. Scratch over into the other world? Ooh. What does that mean?
Okay, let's recap what you've told us so far, Alan. For the past 13 years, you've been trapped in a nightmare dimension called the Dark Place. It's like New York, but it's not New York. And can be reached from the bottom of Cauldron Lake, but it's not really under the lake. And after all this time, you've managed to get out.
Yeah.
But so has your evil doppelganger, Mr.
Ah.
Scratch. Or is it the Dark Presence?
He's able, Alex Casey's able to drink coffee on his own.
Scratch when he looks like me, but he can change into this other form.
And Scratch, the Dark Presence, wants to rewrite the world in his own image.
Which would be in your image, as he looks just like you.
And turn the world into a fucking nightmare.
During Deerfest.
The
which is
worst
scheduled
time
to
of the
take place
year.
In a couple of days.
Like,
You got out of
Deerfest
the
has
Dark
already
Place
been
by writing a
ruined
novel.
once
The pages were
13 years
funny,
ago.
But your double edited it into a horror story that's now changing reality, taking over people, making them crazy, bringing the Dark Place to Bright Falls.
Yes, fiction coming in contact with the Dark Place can change reality. The story is coming true, soaking into everything, like darkness when night falls. But last time
This will be back in 2010.
Yes, last time it didn't happen all at once. The story came true bit by bit as it unfolded. And that dark presence was still bound to the lake. I stopped it before it got the ending it wanted. Before it broke free. Based on that.
And really,
there's still time.
is this all too unbelievable to the FBI agents?
Magical doesn't quite cover it. Scratch wants it to bring about his ending. That can't happen. If I can get the clicker, I can send him back to the Dark Place, make all this shit go away. Look, I know it's batshit crazy. My memory is full of holes, and I'm not sure how much I can trust. It's like a half-forgotten dream.
Yes. There we go.
Mr. Wake, Alan, we've seen our share of batshit crazy in the past 24 hours. What I want to know is, why am I? Why are we written into the story?
I think I saw you. Or a vision of you in the Dark Place. I think you helped me reach out and escape somehow. With that in the story, Scratch would have edited it to get to you. To hurt you. We are all in danger.
We've switched.
It's insane. And there's so much of it.
Have you heard of the cult of the tree?
Have you ever heard of the cult of the tree?
Creepy bunch. In the habit of wearing deer masks, performing murder rituals, victims turning into monsters possessed by darkness, possibly inspired by a horror story written by a certain author. Ring any bells?
The cult. Yes. Yes. They have the clicker.
Are they working with
If
Scratch?
the cult has the clicker, does that make them Scratch's followers? How are you so certain they even have the clicker?
They could be working for Scratch. I don't remember. It's all
Why would they be working for
Alan,
Scratch
if
if
I'm gonna act
they're
on this information, you need to be honest.
trying to stop
Yeah,
all of these
of course.
people from,
Is
that
he
are being kicked
confused?
out of the lake?
Or is he hiding something?
All right, we've already looked at the Adventure Tours. You don't have to remind me of the Adventure Tours video game. Let's look at Scratch.
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington.
And
He's hunting Wake.
and that seems to be very consistent in regards to her profiling, is whenever she's profiling, everybody seems to be, like, their emotion, their inflection is drained out of them. Like, even Alan Wake describing Scratch in her profiling is still just, like, very lacking in tone. And I wonder if there's any meaning to that as well.
Wake said the Colt has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages safe, the dark shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the Colt has the clicker.
Almost as if they're being puppeted to speak. Scratch and Wake.
Scratch looks just like Wake. Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did. Or vice versa.
Like Scratch needed Wake to get out in order to get out himself.
Wake just gave us a lot of information. But this clicker seems like a good place to start. If we find that, then we find the Colt.
And the clicker is basically just, if you haven't played Alan Wake 1, it is a disconnected light switch from Alan Wake's childhood, created by the poet Diver from Alan Wake 1. Like, the Diver is a poet who was captured in the dark place and who manifested Alan Wake using the dark place. And in doing so, also manifested the light switch, I think. Yeah, Alex Casey lunch boxes. We didn't... Do we not slap all of these around? We found a few of them in the Cauldron Lake area. Cult stash boxes. Also in the Cauldron Lake area. A new case.
Are from a horror story called Return, written by Alan Wake, and the contents of this book are coming true.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
romance.
if only Alan Wake was an erotica writer. Oof, the nature of the story would be so much different. Or to catch the modern, is it still a modern fad, the Bridgerton romance novel? Like what if that was his genre of choice? Like in Max Payne 2, Max Payne 1 and 2 have the TV shows you can find. What was it called? It wasn't called, I don't think it was called Lords and Ladies. I think it was called Lords and Ladies. It was like a 1800s period piece costume drama about like dukes and lords and ladies. Like just have that. There's an entity inside the dark place called the Dark Presence. We have a lot of things to pin. Flashlight seems to weaken Taken. Weakened Taken. Inside, a bright light. Scratch and the Dark Presence are interchangeable. Maybe that one? Maybe here? There we go. Just...
Keep trying.
Oh, what are the rules? The story changes our reality. How do you stop the story? I feel like only Rose might have a good idea as to what to do. The overlap, the place between worlds. All right, and the rest is for later. The Cult of the Tree. The cult would be followers of Scratch. No. Cults. How's that not who's involved? Cult ritual? Cult goal. Working with someone. All victims are animals. All right, so we've pinned all that. Alan, you're hiding pages.
Okay, Mr. Wake. I know you have more pages of the manuscript on you.
You don't understand how vital these pages are. They're the only way I can know what's coming.
You're not the only one trying to solve this. This is our job.
Okay. Here. Now, this is all I have. Be careful with them. Inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the Cult of the Tree. A cultist stared at her.
That spells it out pretty clear.
Standing inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the Cult of the Tree. Her mind reeled from what the horror story was now claiming about her. Her life, her past. She didn't accept it. She stepped out of the trailer. She needed air. But she wasn't alone. A cultist stared at her from behind a deer mask. She drew a weapon, shouted, ran after him.
Does she realize that she might actually be fiction? A creation of the dark place. Where is the clicker? There's the clicker.
The Cult of the Tree has the clicker Wake told me about. They're a part of all this. It's all on the page. The clicker, the cult. Okay, I'll head to Watery and find this trailer. Casey, you stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wake.
Got it.
No, you need me there.
No dice, pal. This is an FBI investigation, and I don't see a badge on that flannel.
From now on, you can switch between Alan and Saga's stories via the bucket and the janitor's break room. Feel free to play in whatever order you choose. Where is the janitor's break room? Can you leave as Alan Wake without having found the clicker yet? Are there things I can collect in here? Let's save our game. Also, how are we... Oh, thank you, video game, for remembering how little health I had left. I'm glad this game was able to hold on to that. Can I, like, sleep on the couch for a second? Couch doesn't look too bad. About these pages.
You wrote these pages in the dark place. So why are we finding them here?
I think I wrote them. I remember writing an endless amount of pages. When this happened before, the pages were being sent from the dark place to help me. Maybe the same thing is happening here.
Because he was doing the
That's all
writing
for
and
now,
he
Mr.
had
Wake.
sent it. Oh, the wellness center. Interesting. Okay, which case did we just update? Cult of the Tree. Remembers writing it while in the dark place. You know, I'm going to call it now, actually. Before I get invested into doing something new, let us save...
How this works. You're a civilian, and you don't take right. The scratches after you,
Actually, hold on one second. Does this...
and so is the cult. You don't know who you can trust.
How are we switching realities if Alan is right over there? Unless it's Mr. Scratch in Alan's body. And Alan hasn't even left the dark place.
I wasn't able to escape. A dark presence had stopped me.
Ooh. That is...
I had seen the title page of another manuscript. Return. I didn't remember writing it, but it felt familiar. Important. I had to find it.
So yeah, Alan is still in the dark place. The plot board was empty again.
Empty again. I needed a new draft, back at the beginning, but closer to my goal.
The slaughter. The last draft of Initiation had brought me to my writer's room, but not the one where I was writing now, a different reality, a different time. I had died in the end, again. The dark place had killed me, but something had changed now. My memories of what happened were not eaten away. There'd been another manuscript there. The title page read Return. Had I written it, but then forgotten about it? It felt important. It was important. I remember Return, a loop. Which is even more important that Alan is not joining Saga in her quest. Huh. I'm up. So where do I go from here? Do I start writing?
I would write a new draft of initiation to reach Parliament Tower using another murder site. Scratch was reaching out from the dark place to get Alice. She was out, but still in danger.
Welcome. Our guest tonight is Alan Wake.
Oh, I'm already on stage.
I was back, and I hadn't forgotten. I knew how this worked now. I could take control, no more surprises.
What demons he wrestles with in the dark hours of the night. Together with our house band, the divine old gods of Asgard, we have created something very special. The song is called Herald of Darkness.
Ah,
I'd like to call this next segment the story of the journey of Alan Wake, the musical.
I had heard about this, but I had not watched it.
Let's do what we always do. We'll chat, but instead of talking, we'll sing it.
What the hell?
From what I've gathered, you grew up nice and sheltered with mama's pretty stories and your own made-up fury. And mama gave me a magic clicker. Well, yes, I think it's true and fair to say.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, I'll go there. Thank you.
Come on in and listen, lost words you've been missing. Now the fire you're bearing, the eye of the darkness, your light.
Like, very reminiscent of their work in the video game Control with the ashtray maze, but even more meta. And I believe there's actually like a full music video of this song on YouTube, so I'm definitely gonna have to watch it after this.
So you were drawn to stories early on. My dreams would light up my imagination. And you had nightmares night and day. Yeah, but with the clicker, I chased those frights away. Who knew? So true. So here is a clue of hope to remember. Visions, they come true. Bend the lights with steel. So many champion and love. I'll show you the herald of darkness. Lost in the never-ending night. Dive down deep to the surface.
Yeah, and there's Sam Lake doing the sweet moves. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Door. I'm glad you've pointed the way. But it's also interesting to note that the similar song, Take Control, as featured in the Ashtray Maze, was also like a way for the writer to make their way through the shadows.
And all your stories of crime and chilling thrillers of hard-boiled killers became bestsellers. It was all too much, I had to get away.
Yeah, there we're going. You know, if you can't shine a light as to where your destination is, just put a big old arrow. It helps if your story is incredibly meta in the first place. Okay, sir. Nope. Ah.
But there is more to it than meets the eye. I never meant for it to ruin my life that way. You just say you lit the jade.
This almost feels more like a musical song than like a rock song at this point.
But true.
What is... Oh, I have no charges. Okay. That's the issue. Okay, we're following the arrows of the Getaway Club. I feel like that was the wrong way. Okay, there we go. Okay, they've definitely nailed the entire atmosphere of making your way through a dream. Why do I have a specific inventory for this section?
He could write a new story like Tom Zane before him.
Ah, yeah, Thomas Zane was the name of the diver.
Once again, just one shot, one more chance for him to save their marriage away from the city, a romantic getaway.
He's got the flowers. He's got the wine. What else does he need? Maybe an open mind. Oh no! She's making him right! Ooh, a flare gun.
Still he's a torchbearer, and it couldn't be much clearer. A war needs its warrior, true and right. The darkness within him held her hostage. Had he seen her drowning, would have saved her from the darkness of the lake.
Ah! Yeah. Who was that? Oh my, that was... I have a feeling that those don't... Trying to loot. Son of a... Damn you, combat! Returning to spoil my parade. Also, I have no flashlight? Or did I just not turn it on? I just didn't turn it on. Great. Alright. Hello. Damn it. Let me reload, please. All right. Can I find supplies very easily? Does that just kill you? Yes. Ah, somebody's right behind me. Son of a... Ah. Leave me alone. Did I get any health items out of that? I did not. See what I mean by room for error. That's what I mean by room for error. I need to be able to make mistakes. I'm not perfect. Neither is Alan. And I feel like the ability to make mistakes also adds to the tension. Like, when I was playing Doom Eternal and I was barely scraping by, I was having a much more suspenseful and tension-filled time than when I was more attuned with it mechanically. Was that good enough? It was. Oh, son of a... Son of a... Should I just use flare gun shots? Like, is that the basic issue? Like, would this just be easier? Or I guess do a better job dodging. Oh, because they're not perfect dodges. They do not count. Alright. Let's give this another go. Ah, come. And like that's that unforgiving punishment. Like, oh, you missed a dodge. Sorry, you're screwed. But it would be nice if I got a health item. And like, maybe that's another... Like, an addendum I could add to my attempt at being specific is like, you're just so undersupplied in this game. Alright. Okay. Alright. How are we doing in flare gun? We've got a lot of ammo, so I feel as though I'm also being stingy for no particularly good reason. That was too close. Or too far away. Ah. Excuse me. Now's when you fall. Enemies! Thank you. Like, at some point, maybe I'm also just overthinking everything. And, like, this temporary selection of ammo that you're getting. Like, your inventory changed out completely just for this section. Nah. Son of a... Okay, where is it going to send me back? Please, not all the way at the beginning of that section. Son of a bitch. Why all the way back here? Alright, let's try to be a little bit looser on the expenditure of supplies. Let's presume finish reloading you. Nope, nope. I mean, at the very least, the song is catchy. Like, I'll grant it that. It could easily be... Is there somebody else down here? Wasn't there somebody else before? Oh, it was just the backpack guy. And then I think there was nobody up here until I proceeded slightly deeper. Wait for Solo. It's interesting how I can't just use it from the inventory. Alright, we're being a little bit looser in regards to how stingy I've been for ammo, and I feel like that's like a lot of the early part of the game that's kind of trained me to be stingy. Enemies, reveal yourself. Thank you. All right. Treat this less like this combat and like a series of combat encounters and more like an event. Are you both good? Yeah. That's fine. We're good. Just keep walking at me very slow-like. And we're all going to be fine. Also, I've gone a long way into this game without Resley picking up a new gun. Like, supposedly there's a double-barreled shotgun, but I have yet to see it. Okay, that felt meaningful. Oh, thank goodness. And I feel like I had similar trouble with Doom Eternal as well. Like, I had trouble, like, connecting with the combat for the longest time. And it wasn't really until the DLC for Doom Eternal that I really kind of felt the flow of the game. I hope I don't have to wait all the way until the DLC for this game. But
I didn't see that coming.
nope. And that was awesome. Ruined by my you can't ruin something that good. Watered down by my terrible skills. I had a feeling that door was locked.
Vision. Such a dark place, am I trapped in here? Is this real? I cannot remember. There was a manuscript, it held a key. A vicious cycle I must not surrender to. Echo scenes to seek out again and again until I figure it out to bring this song to its end. Is there any way out to bring this song to its end?
Ooh, the Herald of... Use the Herald of Darkness.
You gotta figure it out to bring this song to its end.
No, now we're in standard definition. Oh, now widescreen. Or is Mr. Door actually a good figure?
And I thought this place couldn't get any stranger.
Yep, there's my inventory back. Ah, T is out there. Oh, he's right there.
champion of light.
Catchy, right?
Herald of darkness. Lost in the...
You have nothing to add?
Swedish brothers, perkel.
He says that before in he uses that word before in Control. That perkele. Like, what does that mean? Friend? Brothers? Oh my gosh. Alright, now we're going to stop for the night. Got any suggestions for something to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourselves a good night.